Hello everybody, welcome back. Last day of my Christmas trip. So I'll be back with a normal computer tomorrow, so if you can just grin and bear it, let's have a quick look at what's going on with XRP. I know what we're saying. So I've recognised on the Telegram that people are just a little bit upset that it's not moving. Other things have been moving and XRP has remained static. I wouldn't be particularly concerned about that, to be honest. There is a move pending on this at any point. So we've crossed above the 0 point here on the MACD, which is good. So momentum's turning up on this one. We do have nice support on the RSI's lows, and the money flow index is pointing up as well. If we can also zoom in real close on this rubbish laptop of mine, we are above on the daily all major moving averages. It might not feel like it because all we're generally seeing is a major consolidation. Probably if you were to draw a line on the bottom and towards the top, it's a symmetrical triangle, which gives it a 50-50% chance of a breakout to, either direction. But because we're above all major moving averages and the momentum's turned up as well on this one, I would imagine that this one would break to the up. So this is more likely to break out and continue up. With support resistances along the way being these previous areas, which were, well, we can highlight as candle body tops, not peaks, not wicks, but candle body tops. So if we were to break this, well, to be honest with you, we're in a good position to actually start to make this move at any point. But if we were to break out of this effective, I'm not going to draw it in because I hate using this laptop, but you can see yourself more or less the resistance is not too far away from where we are right now. I'd make the case that really, we're talking like 64 cents really as major resistance. It'll be less than that, probably 63.50. So if we were to break that and close above that on a candle body on a daily or on a 4-hourly, we'll be looking to reclaim areas that were lost. First major resistance is going to be 67.42. Next major resistance is going to be 71.63, which again corresponds to these areas around here. Again, I hate this laptop, but yeah, it's relatively neat and tidy. And then once you've seen that, then yeah, we move up another increment of 10 cents back up to 81, 91, and then the holy grail of over $1 towards 120 at best, probably in the teens, maybe 111, and anything above that would be a bonus. So let's have a look at the 4-hourly then to see if this move is likely to take place anytime soon. See if we've got any setups presented to us on the old itchy. So what we see here on the 4-hourly is we got a sort of a level death cross, doesn't really count as one, and then we've re-emerged out of that, and so far, those the 250 are diverging. This emphasizes here right now, I suppose I hate this laptop so much, the idea that we are pushing major resistance at the moment, because on the 4-hourly you've got the Bollinger Band Center pretty much at the 63. We've got the 10 exponential just above 63, and then above that is basically all clear, so we should be good to go at that point then. Itchy Cloud, what have we got going on over here, Itchy? So technically there is a trend in play, but it really would need to pump in this next 4-hourly candle. So over the next 2 hours, if we can move above 64.70, really got to get above this this portion of the candle, then the trend signal, which is technically in play, although I don't trust it as much because it's been very messy these last few days on XRP. I mean, it is a fine mess, let's face it. That is not a great look for anyone who wants to make a trade based on, oh, this is a dead cert, because it's not. I mean, the wicks go deep down low, the wicks go deep up high, the formations is all over the place. It's not a clear trend in any way at all. If anything, it's trying to forge that uptrend based on the daily, but the 4-hourly, there's a real battle taking place over here. So it's not neat and tidy. It's, and it's hard to try and it's been like this actually for XRP for months now. It's been very hard to take positions in it because the mess has stopped me out several times, making it really hard to take future positions. And if I'm not stopped out, I find that the momentum starts to slow, and that I manually close the positions just because I really don't have much confidence that it's going to keep going up. So it's not been the best chart to trade on the shorter term timeframes, absolutely. But the daily seems okay, which it encourages me to keep trying, because low leverage positions, if you move from 60 to 120, that's 100% move anyway. and you have a 2x leverage or a 3x on that, something like that. It's relatively low leverage, obviously, but we're looking for a large move if we were to get it. But obviously, risk management is key. So even if you are doing a 2 or a 3x, you still need to stop yourself out because you don't want the market turning against you, which is still my overall fear as Bitcoin and Ethereum and the total two approach those resistances. But yeah, long story short, this does seem okay, although it's not for the faint-hearted if you're trying to get yourself involved in some kind of futures or derivative position on this one. So I'll more or less leave it with you there. I'd like to use the analogy on the Patreon live streams, right? Because people always want some kind of definitive answer, right? Which is impossible to give in any market, right? Because there is no absolute guarantee. So what I often say is, all right, there's a gun to my head, and this is the only chart I'm ever allowed to trade, and I have to make a call. What would it be? And this has got nothing to do with risk to reward. This is life or death situation. There's a gun to my head now, and I have to make a trade. What's it going to be? I would say that it's actually probably going to move up. It's going to start to rally. And it's not just because of XRP, it's because the market still seems relatively okay. Bitcoin has not reached its $48,000 area, and Ethereum started to break out this last week as well, which is good. And that has not reached its $2,800 to $3,000. So the major resistance for the market is still to be met. If anything, what we're seeing now, this sort of red in the market, is basically just a series of higher lows to create those higher highs. But we will at some point very soon reach a particular significant peak in the market, I would expect. I think it is round the corner, but we take every day as it comes. So the gun to my head, what am I going to do? I think trading XRP is acceptable. I think those targets that I mentioned, so what was it, 67, then 71, 81, 90, all the way up to potentially major target of around 120 is on the cards. But until we start to see those get tagged, we're just going to be wiggling around at the mercy of the market. But overall, people like to slag XRP off. It's done pretty well, and its lack of conviction on the shorter term timeframes now, as far as I'm concerned, is a direct relation to the way that the chart has been forced to move rather than making its own organic moves. So obviously we've got this over here, which was the SEC lawsuit thing, and then sort of not too long ago we had this, which was that fake news about the ETF or whatever. There was BlackRock filing for an ETF or something on XRP. So when these things happen, whether it's bullish or bearish, they kind of do break the flow of the chart. The chart overall on the daily does suggest it's still ready to go up, but it's like throwing a brick into a still pond. It'll take a little while for those ripples to even out and the natural order to come back, and that's what happens on any chart, even XRP. But generally speaking, you will not throw a brick in the pond and all the water will come out, but it will look like a bit of a mess until the water settles, and that's basically what's happened with this chart, which is unfortunate because it's making it harder to take positions on a chart which does point to a very large move on the daily. But yeah, the futures are making it's making it very difficult to get those futures positions in on this one. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Hopefully that was useful to you. If there are any other altcoins you want me to make videos about, let me know in the comments, or you can join the Patreon. Other than that, I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.